Hi, welcome to the Wisdom Inspired Talk podcast. Thank you for joining me today. I am Yomi Akipelu, your wisdom coach, speaker, teacher, and author of Blow the Cap Off Your Capability and other books. In this podcast, we will learn from the wisdom of wise men and women from ancient and contemporary times. We will glean wisdom from books, biographies, teachings, quotes, and sayings of sages through the ages. So, let's dive right in. Today, we'll be speaking about visions and dreams. First, a quote and a story. The only thing worse than being blind is having sight but no vision, says Helen Keller. Now for the story. And for this, you need to move closer and get out the hankies. Trent was born in rural Zimbabwe, a place with no running water, no electricity, and no hope for the future. She wasn't allowed to go to her local school because of poverty and because she was a girl, although her brother was given the opportunity to attend. Trent taught herself to read and write from her brother's school books, and eventually secretly began to help her brother do his homework. When the teacher noticed that the quality of the homework was so much better than the work done by the boy in school, he realized it wasn't being done by the boy. Upon questioning, it was discovered that the work was being done by Trent. The teacher begged Trent's father to send her to school because she was a bright child. She attended for a short time, but then her father accepted a bride price of a cow and married her off at the age of 14. By the time she was 18, she had 3 kids, but she still wanted an education. Her husband beat her just for wanting to go to school. In 1991, Joe Locke from Heifer International visited her village and asked every woman about her greatest dream. She said, "My name is Terere, and I want to go to America to have an education." Trent's dream was to go to America, get a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, and eventually a PhD. So Joe Locke said to her, "If you desire those things, it is achievable." Encouraged by her mother, Trent wrote down these dreams, put the paper in a tin, and buried it under the rock in the pasture where she used to herd cattle. In 1998, she got an amazing opportunity to move to the USA. 3 years later, she got her bachelor's degree. In 2003, she earned her master's degree. Her husband was also deported for abuse in 2003. In December 2009, she earned a doctorate from Western Michigan. By this time, she had remarried. Each time she accomplished an item on her list, she returned to Zimbabwe to her buried tin and ticked it off. Trent has been featured on Oprah, and her life story was featured in the 2009 book Half the Sky by Nicholas Kristof and Cheryl Wooden, and also in New York Times Magazine. She's also started a foundation which has built several schools in Zimbabwe. Terere Trent not only broke the cycle of poverty in her life, she shattered it. Terere is a symbol of hope for a whole village because she dared to dream. Robert Schuller said, "Success is to dare to dream the impossible dream with God and to give God a chance to make this dream come true." The story is told of a 6-year-old boy called Steve. He came from a low-income family. One day in class, the teacher asked all the children to write what they wanted to become when they grew up. Steve wrote, I want to be on television, making people laugh. The next day, the teacher read out loud what each child had written. When she came to Steve's paper, she asked him to come to the front of the class. She asked Steve whether he had ever been on TV or whether anybody in his family had ever been on TV. Steve replied, "No, ma'am." So the teacher said he should take the paper back and write something more realistic. Steve went home confused because this was the first time anyone had told him that what he could or couldn't become. He shared this with his father, and his father told him to keep the paper and read it aloud to himself every morning, thanking God that he would be on TV. That boy was Steve Harvey, one of the foremost comedians in America. He is a television host, producer, radio personality, actor, and author. Steve kept his vision before his eyes daily, and he achieved it. Another young man wrote an essay in college for an economics exam on his vision of overnight mail. The professor took a red pen and gave him a C with the comments, "Do not dream of things that cannot happen." The young man left school and started Federal Express. Walt Disney is another example of someone who knew the secret of making his dreams come true. It is possible for yours to come true too. Everything starts, of course, with an idea or a dream. Everybody has ideas pass through their minds. The only difference is what they do with those ideas and dreams. The truth is that many of you have seen someone do something great and thought, "How did they do that?" Perhaps you had the idea too, but you did nothing about it. The great people are no different from you or me. They simply grabbed a great idea before it disappeared into oblivion. They took hold of it. They wrote it down so they wouldn't forget it, and it became a dream. Then they learned how to make their dreams come true. In his book, Dare to Dream, John Maxwell writes, "Daring dreams can be great things. Daring dreams have changed the world." Galileo had daring dreams to see the planets and develop the first telescope. Lindbergh had a daring dream and flew solo across the Atlantic Ocean. Ford had a daring dream. So did Ray Kroc, John F. Kennedy, and Martin Luther King. Daring dreams change the world, but there is a difference between a daring dream and a mere daydream. One fires you up and moves you forward. The other is nothing more than wishful thinking. Daring dreams are worth dying on the hill to take them. Daydreams do little more than make you want to take a nap. Someone said, "Never measure the height of a mountain until you have reached the top. Then you will see how low it was." So don't be afraid to dream big and work hard to achieve them. And that is all for today. Until next time, keep on growing in wisdom and maturity. Blow the cap off your capability. Be unstoppable. Be awesome. I'm cheering you on.